Well, hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna talk to you about my Huda Beauty products. So the first idea was to try and do as much as I could a full face of Huda Beauty, and I realized I actually don't have that many products from the brand, which is surprising to me because I feel like more often than not I am somewhat interested or at least curious about their products. Most of the time I don't end up buying them. Now don't get me wrong, there's very few brands for which I can kind of attempt a full face. I had this idea in my head that Huda was one of them, and it's actually not. So I'm gonna have to pick up a bunch of her stuff because, I mean, why not? But in the meantime, let's just focus on what we have here. I'm gonna show you what I own from the brand and talk to you about it. I do have the foundation. This is the Faux Filter High Coverage Cream Foundation. A lot of people don't like this. It's just one of these products that you either love or you hate, and I love it. It's definitely on the heavier side. It's a matte foundation. It's a full coverage foundation. If you have dry skin, it's gonna suck the life out of your face. I don't, thankfully, so this foundation works for me. It's definitely not a foundation that I would wear on a daily basis. It is the one that I have on today, but I mixed another one with it. It's more one of these foundations that I pick up when I'm going to an event, to a party, whatever, going somewhere where I want my skin to look perfect and flawless, and when I want it to really stay in place and not move, and this definitely does the trick. It is fragranced. I believe she released a more luminous version recently with that perfume this time. I don't mind. I honestly don't mind. It's funny because there's another product from her that's fragranced as well, and a lot of people have very strong feelings about it, where they're like, they hate it, they hate the smell, they hate the simple fact that there's perfume in makeup products, which I can live without it. You know, I definitely would. I'd rather have my makeup not have any added perfume in them, of course, because it's unnecessary. But when they do, I'm like, yeah, fine. It's not something that ever prevents me from buying a product. And in this case, I actually love the smell. It's heavy, like it's a strong smell. You definitely feel it and it lingers. But I love it. I actually love it. So yeah, but just so you know, it is fragrance, so if you don't like it, don't get this. So this foundation I mixed in today with the Glowish Multidew Skin Tint. So this is by Huda Beauty, but I don't know if Glowish is going to be a completely separate brand or if it's just a line within a line. I don't really know what's going on. I have mentioned this in my tops and flops and in my samples video. I have tried this alone since then. I was wearing it when I filmed my Gazi eyeshadow palette video, if you're curious. I did like it. I do like the finish of it in the very beginning. After a few hours, it just turns greasy on me. I knew this was gonna happen. I mean, I thought it was gonna happen because generally speaking, anything that has the word dew in it, it transforms into greasy on my skin because I have more of a combo to oilier skin. This, however, I really still enjoy to mix in with other heavier duty foundation. This is a match made in heaven in my book because you get the dew and the luminosity of this product and the high coverage and matte finish of this one. So this is a nice mix. I do enjoy it so far. I think that thanks to this foundation, this is not going to be too shiny throughout the day. I mean, yeah, I really do like it. I wouldn't buy a full size just because I'm not gonna buy a 40 € product just to mix in with a couple of the foundations. The good news though was that this time it didn't give me a bad reaction. I mean, I did have a few little dots here and there, but it was very, very minimal compared to that first time that I used it. So I think my skin could handle it. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy a full size of this. I also have the concealer. I don't have it on my face today. I never wear it because it's way too late, and it's also way too heavy for the under eye, in my opinion. I never bothered to get another one in my shade because I could tell it's not the kind of texture I would enjoy under my eyes. It's not the kind of texture anyone would enjoy, actually. I mean, the good thing is you probably don't need to set it that much. It's just very heavy and cakey and dry. I don't know how to explain it. I don't love it as a concealer. I never use it as such. However, this is my go-to product when I want to do a cut crease. So this is the concealer I use as an eyeshadow base, let's say, to cut my crease and do very specific eye looks. I just always go for this one because it doesn't move and it's light, and I mean, that way I get to use it and it's not going to waste. Next up is this powder here. This is the Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. I love this. Again, not everyone is a fan. The most common complaint, based on what I've heard, is the scent. It is the same fragrance as the foundation. I love it. I'm sorry, I do love it. I wouldn't wear it as an actual perfume. Although, would I? I don't know. I do love the smell, but just know that yes, it is heavily fragranced. This is a great powder. I love baking with it. I love setting my face with it. Again, if you're on the drier side, I don't know that you will like it. I mean, then again, if you have dry skin, you shouldn't bake. I shouldn't bake either because I'm 34. I'm past the point where it's a good idea for me to bake under my eyes. I still do it because it's just, I love the flawless effect that it gives me, and this powder does just that. These two products combined just make you look flawless. At least they make me look flawless, and I really, really, really love this combo. I then have this product. This is the Tantor Contour and Bronzer Cream. So this is a cream bronzer. It's funny because this was released long before this whole craze about cream products, cream bronzers, cream blushes, and all of that. It's a good cream bronzer. At first I was skeptical because for a product to be called contour and bronzer, I was like, that's not possible. Either you have a contour product which is more cool tone and which is used to shape the face and create shadows, or you have a bronzing product and then it's more warm tone and it's used to warm up the face. I mean, to me, the term Tantor is more a marketing thing than anything else, but it is true in the sense that it's not too cool toned, it's not too warm either. So if you were to contour your face with it, you might get away with it, although I feel like it would be a little bit muddy. And definitely if you want to bronze up the face with it, you can as well. It's not going to be too warm, too orangey. It's a lovely color. I love using this product. Now, I don't have any highlighter from Huda, which is surprising because I love highlighters and she has released quite a few. I think it has to do with the fact that I've heard some not so great reviews about them, about the fact that they're not always super flattering, that they tend to emphasize texture on the skin, which I mean a lot of highlighters do, but apparently these ones in particular. I also don't have a blush from the brand, and I couldn't because they don't have blushes. Isn't that weird? I find it to be very weird, especially because Huda usually is, you know, very much on trend. And blush is having a moment right now. Every brand is releasing not only blushes, but cream blushes in particular. So I was surprised when I realized, hey, they don't have blushes. So I'm thinking this might come out soon. I feel like they should, because it's kind of the perfect timing to release a blush collection. I also don't have any brow products. I know that she released a few lately. She has a clear mascara that can also be used as a brow gel, and apparently it's amazing. I do want to try it out. I was at Sephora about a month ago and I looked for it, but they didn't have it yet. But hopefully one of these days I will try it out. I know that she also has a liner, a double-sided liner with a liquid and a pencil, and a mascara, again, double-sided mascara with a blending side and a volumizing side, something like that. I don't have either of those, again, because the reviews were kind of hit and miss from what I've heard. So yeah, I never purchased anything from those categories. Eyeshadow palettes, on the other hand, I do have, and honestly, if I was listening to myself, I would have a lot more. Starting with the Smoky Obsessions. This is one of their 9 pans. I really love this format. This one I enjoy, except for the fact that there used to be a black here. It broke, it got everywhere on my floor. Some of it got on my bed. It's just, it's still now, like I can find black shadow all over the palette. So that's unfortunate. And I believe I saw Samantha March having the same issue with the black being broken. So I'm thinking there's an issue with how the shadow, the black shadow, was pressed. Who knows? I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I still use this palette. I have used it today. It would be nice to have that little extra black there, but honestly, I do have a bunch of blacks in different eyeshadow palettes, so if it's that important, I can just grab another one. This is still a nice palette. It's a nice classic smoky palette. I then have the Topaz and Emerald Obsession. So the Topaz I used recently in a Guess the Eyeshadow Palette video. I do enjoy it. It's not the most interesting color story. I believe I had mentioned that these two shades are very similar. One of them probably isn't that necessary, but it's still a nice palette. This one I enjoy a lot more. I feel like you can do a bunch of different things. You have this minty green that's very pretty, this khaki green, you have a bunch of shimmery shade, this glittery shade here I love. I really do enjoy this palette. I have used it quite a bunch. And then I have the Neon Obsession. This is the orangey one. I love it. I really do love it. I love it because it's the only palette of that kind that I own. I know that the green one, a lot of people didn't like so much. I must say myself that the color story of that one seems a little off. And the pink one was just too pink. This I love because you do have a bunch of pinks and corals and oranges and yellows. It's just a fun neon palette and I really do love it. I don't get to use it that often because, I mean, it's not every day that I wear neon colors on my eyes, but when I do, I usually love it. As I was saying, I really enjoy that format of 9 pan, and there's a few others that I would like to get, hopefully soon. The last collection that she released, the Wild collection, I believe, the Jaguar palette, which was more cool tone with a bunch of like mauvey, taupey shades, definitely my jam, and the Python palette, which had a bunch of greens, and it's just, I want them. Okay, I want them. She also has a bunch of nude palettes that are pretty. They are definitely interesting, but I feel like it's something I have elsewhere in my collection. It's not as special, but those Python and Jaguar palettes, they're going to be mine one day. And now moving on to the bigger eyeshadow palettes, I have the new Nude Palette. I got it when I was working at Sephora. I would always put my fingers in these types of shade. They are so shimmery and pretty and reflective. They have a bunch of different colors in them. There's also a couple of glitters there. This is the kind of colors that just goes very well with my eye color. So yeah, I do enjoy this palette. I enjoy the fact that you can do everyday looks and you can also deepen it and go a bit more vampy. Yeah, it's a good palette. I like it. And my favorite of them all is the Mercury Retrograde. This is so sentimental to me. I think I could never, ever, ever throw it away. Even if I were to hit pan on all of the shades, I could never get rid of this palette. I remember when it was released, it was like maybe in October, November, something like that. And I remember thinking, like that looks like a spring palette. Why would you release it then? And then I went to a Sephora in the beginning of December of that year and I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, fine, I'm gonna grab it. This was my present for Christmas from my mom. I love it. I love the color story. It's so unusual. I don't have anything like this in my collection. And like I said, at first it seems a bit random, but you can actually do so much. And I was using it a bunch when I was working at Sephora. It's actually what I was wearing when I got my job interview and I was hired, and it's just, it really is my favorite palette from the brand. Moving on to lips, I do have a bunch of them. I have 6 mini liquid mattes and 2 pencils. Starting with the combo I have on my lips today. So I have this pencil. This is in the shade Trendsetter, and the liquid matte lipstick also in Trendsetter. I also have the shades Medusa, Bombshell, Flirt, Heartbreaker. I also have the Heartbreaker lip liner. And this is a demi-matte cream lipstick in the shade Mogul. So when it comes to the formulas of the matte liquid lipsticks from Huda, they're definitely on the more drying side. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a matte liquid lipstick. I don't expect my lips to feel soft and hydrated after using them. But there are other brands, other liquid lipsticks that you can use and feel less crunchy, you know? However, I still wear them because they are gorgeous. I just really love the colors. All the colors I love are colors that work for me, and I feel like they would work for a lot of people. So yeah, not my favorite formula, but I do enjoy the colors, and I do enjoy those little kits that she releases where she has 3 or 4 different mini liquid lipsticks, because then you can try different shades and you don't have to buy a full size if you don't need it. And that's it. That's all the products I own from Huda Beauty. Let me know if there's any product in particular from that brand that you think I should try. In the meantime, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel because it's free, so why not? And I will see you guys next time. Bye!